was January of 2024. I was 16 and it happened on a Friday night. My parents were out of town for a work conference, hours away, and they wouldn't be back until Sunday. I'd stayed home alone before, but this night was different. School had let out earlier that evening and I'd taken the bus home. It was one of those freezing winter nights where the sun sets too early and everything feels eerily still. The heater on the bus barely worked, and the windows were frosted over. I kept my head down, earbuds in, until my stop came up. The street was quiet, just the crunch of snow under my boots. My house was at the end of the block, and as I walked, I noticed something odd. The porch light was off. My parents always left it on when they knew I'd be home alone. It sent a little shiver down my spine, but I told myself it was just a burnt-out bulb. Inside, the house felt colder than usual, the kind of cold that sinks into your skin. I flipped on the lights, dropped my bag by the door, and headed to the kitchen for a snack. I turned on the TV in the living room to break the silence, but even then, the house felt too quiet. About an hour later, I heard it. A knock at the front door. Not loud, just a light, deliberate tapping. I froze. Who would be knocking at my door at this time? I crept up to the door and peeked through the peephole. No one was there. I stared for a minute, trying to figure it out. Maybe it was the wind, or a prank. I sat back down, trying to shake the feeling that something was wrong. But then it happened again. This time, the knock was louder. My heart started racing. I grabbed my phone and called my friend Jake. "Hey, someone's knocking on my door, but no one's there," I said. He laughed, but it wasn't the comforting kind of laugh. "Dude, it's probably just some kid messing with you." As I was explaining, I heard it, the crunch of snow coming from outside the living room window. I froze, my blood running cold. "Jake," I whispered, "someone's outside." His tone changed immediately. "Lock the doors now." I ran around the house, locking every door and window I could think of. But then my stomach sank. I hadn't checked the back door when I got home. With Jake still on the line, I crept toward the kitchen, gripping a knife from the counter. My palms were sweating as I rounded the corner, and there it was. The back door was slightly open, swinging gently in the wind. Before I could react, I heard it, a loud thud from upstairs. My chest tightened, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. "Jake," I whispered, "I think they're inside." "Get out of the house right now," he said, panic in his voice, but I couldn't move. My legs felt like lead. I forced myself up the stairs, step by step, following the sound. The hallway was dark, but at the end of it, my bedroom door was ajar, and light spilled out into the hallway. And then I saw them. Muddy footprints, leading straight into my room, I whispered. "Jake, they're in my room. Leave. Don't go in there." But before I could turn back, I saw it, a shadow moving across my doorway. That was it. I bolted back down the stairs, out the front door, and into the freezing night. I didn't stop running until I reached my neighbor's house. I pounded on their door until they let me in, shaking and barely able to explain what had happened. They called the police, and when the officers arrived, they searched the house. Though back door was wide open. The footprints led all through the house, upstairs, downstairs, but nothing was missing. It was like whoever it was didn't want to steal anything. They just wanted to scare me. The police never figured out who it was or how long they'd been inside. To this day, I can't stay home alone without looking over my shoulder, wondering if someone's watching.